Hello and welcome to another Verbling class. Today's class, Academic English. We're going to talk about a news story coming up shortly. Most socially advanced country in the world. Good evening, Hyde.
Hello, nice to see you again. Now, good morning for you. I'm
Yes,
sorry,
it's
I couldn't attend this morning. I had overslept.
no worries. It's kind of strange for me because normally it's morning for you and it's evening for me. So
Yeah, it started at 6. I woke up at 7:15. Too late.
well, it was strange, Hyde, because I had the entire class sold out, but there weren't a lot of students in the class. So good to have you here.
Now, 5 lessons is going on at the same time.
Yeah, I try to have them early because a lot of students that come to my class are from Europe and Asia, and it's very late there. And for those from Central America, it's about the same time. So I'm trying to get them earlier, but that's why I do classes on the weekend now too, so that way for others, it's a better time. So thank you for joining us, Hyde.
Thank you.
Hello, Raphael. Good morning.
Good morning, Simon.
Did you sleep well?
So, I haven't slept so well lately, but just enough for my daily needs, I think.
Well, that's good. I hope you have a good day today. I mean, here, the weather's kind of gray and cloudy. It's not very nice. So.
It's part, you know.
Well, you know what you do when it's very cloudy and cold?
Study.
No, you get some really good food.
Yes, probably.
All right, well, thank you for joining us. Viridania, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I'm not sure which.
Hello, Simon. Good morning. Here in Mexico, it's 7 a.m.
Oh, yeah, so it's early there too.
Just very
Well, good
early.
morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you can tell, but I didn't have time to shave this morning, so it's a little early for me too. Maybe I should have booked 9 o'clock.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe next time I'll do that. I just didn't want to interfere with the family too much.
Okay, but don't worry.
Yes, thank you. Good morning, Alexander.
Hi.
Hey. So
Here is
you're having a
afternoon
class
right
in the
now.
middle. I know it's not middle of the night anymore.
Yeah. Now
You
we
love this
changed the
time
place.
Excellent, excellent. And I see Wellington. I haven't seen Wellington in a couple of weeks. Good to see you, Wellington.
Good to see you too, Simon. How are you?
Good. You've been busy with work, I take it.
Yes. So it's good. It's good. I have a lot of work to do, but it's good. It's good
Excellent.
for the deals.
No, that's terrific. Well, let's get into today's topic. Now, I love the fact that I can add links to the lesson plan. Who has read the homework assignment for this morning's class?
Yes, I read.
Excellent. Excellent. Raphael?
Sorry, I didn't.
Oh, are you reading it now?
Yes.
Good, good. Keep reading. Hi, did you read the homework assignment?
No, I don't know about that.
Okay, well, I recommend reading it because what I want to focus on in this academic English class is less on the reading and more on discussion. There, yuck. Alexander, did you read?
Yes, for sure.
Excellent. Well, that's
I did
good.
as you told me.
Yeah, but just because I say, who listens to their teacher all the time? I didn't. All right, let me. So what I would like us to do then is, and again, this is part of my new style. I want to allow more time for you guys to speak. So by you guys reading ahead of time, we can jump right into a discussion. So what I want to do is start off by giving you guys about 2 minutes each, and I want us to have a discussion over this. So the article, as you can see there in the Globe and Mail, and this is a Canadian newspaper, so maybe this changes your outlook. It helps you with the bias a bit. But it talks about socially advanced countries. And this is some sort of measure. I won't tell you about who does it because that's part of the discussion you guys can have. But it's by a fairly reputable organization, and it measures something. Okay, and that's something I think is important. You may disagree. Wellington, let's start with you. I'll give you 2 minutes, and when you see me holding this up here, you'll see the time, so I ask you kindly to, actually, I'll just set it to timer mode, and then that way we'll hear when time's up. So Wellington, go ahead, you have 2 minutes to discuss.
But what's the question? What is
the question? Tell me about the article. What did you learn?
Yes, in the article we see that they release a list of the countries when they are looked about the increasement, the wealth, but this list, the search is not about money. Is they pick, they search about the environment, things like the health, the increasing in health, and other areas. And the main subject is Canada, because Canada is the 60th country, and the improvement there is good for the citizens, but of course, like other countries, there are many areas that Canada must work to improve, like environmental and cell phones and water use and other things. Unfortunately, we have other countries like Central Sul, in Africa and Latin America that is in the last. Okay.
Right. Thank you very much. A good introduction. Some of the things mentioned is Canada's place on this list, but that it's not just about money. It's about other important things, such as the environment. So thank you very much for that. Verdania, go ahead. You've got 2 minutes. Tell us what you think about the article or other information that Wellington may have missed.
Okay, well, I think the article focused on the social index developed by Michael Porter. And I think, well, I personally, I totally agree with the statement that he made about the GDP is not the whole story. It's not everything. It doesn't allow the economy. Well, it doesn't allow the countries to increase the social opportunities. So I think it's really interesting. It mentioned a lot of from Canada. Canada is positioned in the 6th place, but also it makes some emphasizes on other weaknesses of Canada. I think it mentions something on the water, the sustainability resources. But well, Canada had makes great things on reducing poverty or on the equality of gender, for the kind of opportunities for women and men. And well, also I would like to add that yesterday morning I hear in the news that the monetary fund, the international fund, mentioned something about that low. Okay, sorry.
Thank you. No, you'll have plenty of time to speak. Thank you. All right, Raphael, have you had a chance to read the article yet, or should I go to Alexander and then come back to you?
Just some more minutes.
Okay.
Please. 2
Okay,
minutes.
I'll give you 2 more minutes.
Yeah.
Alexander, we'll go to you next. So we've heard a lot already about this news story. So go ahead and tell us more, maybe what other students have missed, or maybe give your opinion. You go ahead. You've got 2 minutes, please.
So after I've read this interesting article, I was thinking about their economic growth as well as their social development, and in that article, was said that it is two crucial things that it is economic growth is important for building a prosperous society, and also there were a couple of examples about Canada, about other countries, and also it was said about Canada, how great this country for migrants, for their citizens, because Canada has a great opportunity. Canada has a great and development education system, as well as personal rights, for freedom of speech. These factors are important for society, for social, how does it say? For social progress. Yeah, for social progress. And it was, how did it say? Underperforming. Yes, it was underperformed. That some countries like America was how does it say? Canada was higher than America in that at this point, and
thank you. You've just gone over.
All right.
All right, but write down that thought. We can continue that, because when we get to the next round, we're going to talk more about your opinion, what you feel like. Hellam just joined us. Hello, Hellam.
Hello, Simon.
Good morning or good afternoon to you.
Well, it's 1 p.m. Good afternoon.
Yes. Good afternoon. There's a newspaper article that we're currently having a discussion about, Hellam. Have you read that yet?
No, Simon, no.
Okay, let me put it here in the chat. I'm going to go to Hyde, or Raphael, and then Hyde. So that'll take about 4 minutes. So if you want to give it a quick read, then you'll actually understand what it is we are talking about.
Okay, Simon. Okay.
Okay, thank you. All right, Raphael.
Okay.
Alexander was talking about something very interesting. He was kind of suggesting that you know, that there's good rights and freedoms, education system. It's great for people emigrating to the country. So I'd like to ask you 2 questions in your 2 minutes. One, is there anything that hasn't been talked about in the story? And the second question is, what do you think the cost of living is like in Canada? Go ahead, you have 2 minutes, please.
Could you please repeat the first question?
Oh, geez, I'm going to remember now. If there's anything else in the story that other students haven't talked about yet. Okay, so
listening to their answers, I realized, I don't know, I had something mentioned about the gap between social growth and economic growth. I believe that these two growths must go together. These two in these two aspects. One thing that Canada has done well is just they are performing this growth, both the economic growth and the social growth, at the same rate, I believe. That's maybe one of the reasons they are in the figuring out at the first place of this rank. So yes, that's what I understood about the article and what they've just said so far.
okay. Do you think that the cost of living in Canada is low, or do you think it's an expensive country to live in, based on what you've read here?
I believe that it's a high cost, but I think since Canadians are, at least from my point of view, are healthier, are wealthier, and they can afford this way of living. I don't know, and they can afford with their expenses and their living costs. So since they have better knowledge, they are more skilled to in the sense that they can, how can I say, they can manage better their earnings, and they have more ability to manage their finances in order to attain a better life quality.
Thank you, Raphael.
Thank you.
Hi, you've got 2 minutes. I'd love to hear your commentary on this news story and any opinions you might have. Go ahead, you have 2 minutes.
Me?
Yes, you.
Okay. I was a little surprised because Canada has equality. Yeah, I think so, but the living level is equal, or job opportunity is equal. I don't know about that. Once I went to Vancouver, then I saw a lot of beggars in the town. I've never seen beggars in Japan, so I was very surprised. So the life and the Canadian life is good or not, I can't say any comment about that.
Okay. Well, you've still got 1 minute and 20 seconds left, so what else would you like to say about the article itself or other countries on the list?
Other countries on the list, yes. I think Norway or some Scandinavian peninsula countries, it's very good. I heard so, but I've never been that place. Only I visited Denmark. Maybe in Denmark the living level is very good. There are many old elderlies working around the city, so I needed to pay a lot of tax. A tax is very expensive. Even though I was tourist, but I needed to pay a lot of tax for elderlies in Denmark.
Mm-hmm.
So for young people, maybe it's difficult to leave that place. They need to pay the tax a lot. Japan and America, the tax rate is quite low, so it's very good for
Yes, it is.
workers. So
Well, and that kind of, sorry, your time's up, Hai, but that kind of, and to summarize, because I'm going to go on to Hallam next. It's interesting you brought up several things. You know, people on the street. If this is a great country, how come we're not looking after the people on the street? What about taxes? Do we mind paying high taxes if everyone's looked after? What about healthcare, universal healthcare? Well, they don't have that in the U.S., so you've got low taxes, but if you come down with leukemia or any other major disease, you can't afford treatment. You're out of luck, or you lose your house and your job because you can't afford the bills, even with insurance sometimes. Countries like Denmark, it's 25% tax when you buy things. But if you lose a job, you've got the government. They'll provide you with income. They'll provide you with health care. They'll provide you with dental care. They'll provide you with drugs. They'll look after you. So, Hallam, what do you think? What kind of country do you think is your ideal country based on what we're talking about here and based on the list? You've got 2 minutes. Hallam?
Okay, me.
Okay. Oh, no, hold on, because I'm trying to get Hallam to speak. He's not speaking, so.
Hey, Simon?
Oh, there you are.
This
Go
is
ahead,
for me?
please.
Hello, Simon?
Go ahead, Hallam. You've got 1.5 minutes left. Maybe you've got some audio problem. I'm not sure, but.
The question was?
Hallam, are you having audio problems?
Simon, I hear you. What is the question, please?
Can you give us your comments on the news story, please? You've got 1 minute left.
Sorry?
Okay, Hallam, I'm going to have to come back to you. I don't know what, we're having some troubles here, but we spent 1 minute trying to get your opinion. So I'm going to go to Wellington now. Wellington, can you give me your thoughts based on this list and based on the information? Which country do you think is a place you'd like to live in? Or maybe it's the country you're currently in.
Yes, maybe Canada is the best one.
Why? It's 6th on the list. It's 6th on the list, Wellington. Why?
No.
Canada?
Who is talking is Hallam or Simon.
Oh, sorry. Well, Wellington, what do you? I'm going to come back to you. We're having problems with the audio here, so I'm going to go to Wellington for now. Wellington.
Yeah.
Simon, it's for,
Can I?
for me.
Yes,
Canada
please.
is.
Hallam,
Okay.
could you please fix your audio? Maybe you need to restart your browser, but there's a significant delay and it's causing problems. We've spent over 1 minute here trying to get your comments, and it's not working well. So I don't know what the problem is. I'm going to go to Wellington right now. Wellington, please, you have the floor.
Okay, let's go. Simon, I don't, based on the list, I think for me, maybe Canada is a good place and Australia. Canada is the 60th and Australia is the 10th, but I think this country is more is near than my culture, my Brazilian culture. I think Canada is cold, but I think Canada has rules to improve the immigration. They respect our rights. And Australia, the weather is like here in Brazil.
Yeah, I'd say Australia would be I like Australia personally. So let me give you a bit of commentary here, and then I'll give you another chance to speak. A lot of those European nations, and they're in the north of Europe, they really do have a great system, and I like that system, but I have 6 or 7 months of winter in Canada. I don't think I would want to tolerate living in a country that has that much long of a winter.
Sorry, my connection fall. Sorry.
I saw that. Do you mind living in a country with a long winter?
I no no. I think. Sorry, you are asking to me?
Yes, that's your last question. Then we're going to move on.
Okay, sorry. No, I never lived in a place where the winter is very cold like Canada, but I think it should be something that um, I it will be good, a little difficult but good.
All right. Thank you very much. All right, Verdenia, which country do you think is the best to live in based on what we've read here in this story?
Well, based on the list, definitely Norway, but it's important to remark that three Nordic or Scandinavian countries are a bit among the top five, and also Switzerland and New Zealand. I think these countries have the most highest rates have the highest rates of taxes in the world, but also they are the most socially advanced. And I think this is because the government manage the income tax as well, or the government. I don't know how to say the government return the money to the people in social aspects.
Spreading the wealth.
Okay, spreading the wealth, exactly. And for example, in Mexico, that is the opposite. We have a lot of we have a wrong distribution of wealth. We have a lot of inequality, and this is something that those countries, the top 5 or 6 or the top 10 on the list, have made great.
That's interesting. And, you know, I think that's a lot of it. We need to feel safe and secure, and to each of us, that means different things. Um, okay, next I'm going to try to get Helm again. So, Helm, can you hear me now? Thank you.
Yes, I hear you, Simon.
Good. Okay, so I want to give you a bit of a chance to speak because you haven't had much of an opportunity. We seem to be having some problems, but what are your thoughts, your commentary? What can you tell us about the news story that we were discussing?
Yes, for me, the best country is Canada.
Why is Canada the best country?
There, there are there is a real tolerance for immigrants and religious minorities. The number of good universities in the world is more important. Educational system is the benchmark in the world for my opinion. And, that's all. Huh?
Now, in some countries, you don't pay anything for your university education. In Canada, you do pay. You get some help from the government, you get some loans from the government, but it can be expensive.
Yeah,
Not as expensive as the United States, though. So do you still have a good regard of Canada's system?
uh, in spite of this fact, we have to pay the universities, but the quality of education is better than other countries, other European countries. And,
Okay, good, good. What about health care and other things such as pharmacare or dental care or even child care? Do you think these things are important or should be universal?
sorry, I don't understand what is.
Okay, so universal means everybody. Childcare means that you have daycare that's provided for by the government. Healthcare means free health, surgery,
Yes.
doctor
Uh,
visits.
Yes, it's very important to have the access for healthcare and but we have to be realistic and maybe the government uh, cannot uh, offer this service free of charge for all people.
Okay.
We have to do it uh, in relation with the economical situation of people. Some
Okay.
people
Good.
need help, but some people who have a good rents have to pay.
All right. Thank you very much, Helma. Hyde, back to you. Um, so I look at this list here and I see Canada in sixth place with 86.89. And then New Zealand, Iceland, Switzerland, and Sweden are all pretty much clumped together in the same area. There's a very, I'd almost say they're all at the same level. When I look at these countries, I remember New Zealand. I used to live there. It's a fabulous country with a much better climate. There's no winter like we have here in Canada.
Climate is very important for me. So
Yeah,
I don't live in Canada or Norway or some good places because the winter season is very long. I hate winter season. Even in Japan, we have winter very hard. But after that, we can see cherry blossoms, token for the our patients.
hmm
And we have summertime. Summer is very hot, so it's very clear for season. Nowadays, I enjoy that. I traveled to 13 countries. Then finally, I think Japan is the best for me. I'm so sorry to say, because of climate rate, it's very low. If you lose your handbag or a wallet on the street, you should go to the police station. Maybe you can get your possession again 70% rate.
Okay, well, I think that's great, and that you shouldn't apologize for thinking Japan is the best. I mean, that's where you're living. There's nothing wrong with that. I certainly don't take it personally if people don't think Canada is a good place to live, or is. Here's a bit of commentary by myself, and then I'll give Raphael a chance to speak. I've lived in Canada, the United States, New Zealand, England, and I've visited many others. These travels have taught me one thing. When we become overly nationalist, we become blinded to our own country. We have a whole planet here. And sometimes we got to ask ourselves, what is the best for ourselves and our family? We left New Zealand because we no longer felt that New Zealand was the best place to raise a family. I love the country. We all did. So I've never looked at Canada as the best country in the world to live in. I've looked at it as the best place for me right now. I'm very fortunate. I have a great job. I have a stable job. Although the climate isn't great most of the year, I love the area that I live in. There are trails everywhere. In fact, after this class, I have a private session, but then after that, grab my family, I'm going to put the little guy in a little bike trailer, and we're going to go walking the trails by our little river. Maybe more like a stream, but we have so many miles of trails here. It would be dark before I'd finish riding in the trails. And I like that. Now, as I get older, I really wish I could live someplace that's warmer. But for now, this is the best for me. And that's kind of a discussion I would like to move into next. And Raphael, I'd love you to be able to tell us a bit more about countries that you think would be great to live in and why. And if so, what is it about your own country that you would like to see change to create that environment? So I'd like us to think a bit more outside of our current situation. Raphael, go ahead, please.
I believe that the country it's more the best place to live. Best country to live is a country in which they respect the governance, they respect their population. They provide, they ask for taxes, they demand taxes, but they really apply these earnings in benefit of the people, in favor of people, in which you have good public services, in which you can start an entrepreneurship, and you can see your business growth as the rate, and you could never, as a rate, you can realize that you're doing the wrong way. You're doing the right way, actually, in which you can find opportunities to develop your not only your public welfare, but also not only your private welfare, but also the public welfare, in which you can, as summarizing, in which all people can attain a good life quality by themselves. Unfortunately, I live in a country in which this isn't respected, because everything. Unfortunately, we are severely affected by corruption and other bad things regarding our public administration. So it's really difficult for a person who doesn't have at least the basic opportunities of living in which they cannot grow. They cannot grow by themselves. Because unfortunately the public services here, not only public, but the public projects to help these people to develop their way of living, in my opinion, is ineffective.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. A great commentary, Rafael. Appreciate it. Now, what I'm starting to do, I should have done this earlier, but I hate hiding myself from the camera. I've started copying down some of the vocabulary that we're discussing here, and I'll continue to do that as we continue with our discussion. So thank you. And Alexander, we haven't heard from you in a while, but it's your turn. So the primary purpose of this discussion right now is, as Rafael did, what is the best country in the world to live in? Why is that? Or what would you like to see happen in your own country? But you as a person, not as a citizen of, for example, Russia, just strip away the boundaries or the borders of the world, and what's best for you and your family?
I'm actually patriotic, and yes, I'd like to travel around the world to see what's going on in the world, how our other countries are living. But at the end of the trip, I would probably start missing my country, because I was born there. I was well brought up by my parents. I've been growing up here, and it's just like a part of my human being, my country, and it's kind of a difficult question to say, because it depends on a lot of factors like job, money, wife, children, flexibility, your flexibility. If you are flexible to travel around the world, why not? And of course, if you have a stable job in this country or in another country, why not? Because you are making great money, and it will be a period of time when you will start just living, enjoying yourself, not work to live. You will be just live, enjoying your life. So, and the bottom line is that it doesn't matter what country you like, what country is perfect for live, what country has a great social progress, social opportunities, jobs. It's up to you what you like, what you are looking for.
Okay, I think that's great, and you know what? Excuse me. when I was younger, I was a lot more, how we'd say, patriotic. And I'd be lying to you if I didn't say that whenever there's news about England or discussions about history, there's still a certain sense of pride I get because those are my roots. That's where I come from. But as much as I love England, and I do, it's a very expensive country to live in. It's the opportunities aren't as great as they are over here, and the cost of living is a lot higher. And I don't know if I could ever move back there. But if money wasn't an object, yeah, I would certainly like to go back. I do like the country. And that's where, as I continue this discussion with you guys, I just want you to think outside the box for a minute. And this is a term, what do we mean by outside the box? Well, outside the box is to think and ponder things that we haven't already thought of. Okay? It's to open our mind to other ideas. I think New Zealand is a terrific company. I really would love to move back there, but I don't know how I would make that happen. In the winter, you wear a sweater. I never saw frost in New Zealand. It never got that cold, not in the north. And the summers were hot, similar to Brazil or Australia. It's one country I miss. All right, so since we've gotten to everybody, we're down to the last 18 minutes. I want to give you guys, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14. I want to give you guys just under 2 minutes each to give your final thoughts. And we're talking about many things, and I think the next thing is I guess a discussion on transparency, government taxation, and benefits. Is there anything wrong with a high tax rate if everybody has equal access and there's a distribution of wealth? So, for example, in some of the European countries, the CEO of a company can't get paid any more than 8 times the lowest paid employee. So what do you guys think about wealth distribution? Do you think there should be some sort of taxation should help redistribute the wealth so that everybody has an equal opportunity? In families, we look after each other. Well, what's wrong with governments doing that? I'd like to start with Wellington. Go ahead, please.
Okay, I think the problem is not the high tax, pay high taxation. The problem is that governments, unfortunately, in most of the countries, like Rafael said, here in Brazil, the wealth is not well distributed to the people. If I pay a high tax for the government, I want to this money return to come back for me, for my siblings, for the people. Unfortunately, this money goes to other people, goes to politicians, and if not, I think, of course, that the richer must pay more because, for example, if a large company is sorry, lost words. Big companies are getting more money and decrease the behavior, the environment behavior.
So some large corporations seem to be exempt from paying taxes.
Sorry?
Many large corporations seem to be exempt from paying taxes.
Yeah. Large companies must pay more taxes, but here, for example, here in São Paulo.
All right, let me stop you because you've actually gone over it a little bit, and we don't have a lot of time left.
Sorry.
Verdania, no, thank you, Wellington. Great comments, Verdania. It's your turn. You've got 2 minutes.
Thank you. Something similar is in Mexico, something similar to Brazil. Uh, Corporations are exempt from the government for paying their taxes. And also, I think the key driver is distribution of wealth. I think that's a key driver to improve social aspects. And the inequality in Mexico is huge. So that has causes a lot of um, social discontent of the people. Um, we have a universal health care. That's something important to remark. But another aspects like education system or universities or transparency are one of our biggest weaknesses. So uh, the problem is also corruption. That's the biggest problem because it doesn't allow that social aspect improve in this country. Well, for example, I moved to a city where the opportunities are the best in Mexico. I have to leave to left the city where I was raised and I was born, and now I live in one of the most secure cities in the country. I've never
Thank
been
you.
in. Okay.
Sorry, I just want to give everybody a chance. Raphael.
Okay. Well, honestly, I don't like this term wealth distribution. I'd rather a term called wealth investment or something like that, in which um, people are people are skilled enough to invest their money and their wealth in which might win something in something which might bring their benefits not only for them but also for their surroundings. I believe that fortunately here where I live, the government is just they have created a lot of programs to help people and give them provide them a basic payment, a basic monthly payment just for their basic needs, but these people are not they are not being prepared for work by themselves, prepared for earn their to gain their money with or gain their benefits by them, by themselves. Unfortunately, this is a really this is a great topic to discuss, but I don't. There's so much to speak about it, but unfortunately, we don't have enough time.
No,
So,
and it is. Look, I wish we could continue this conversation. I really do, and I'm glad that I've found a topic that touches on everybody because you see, you've forgotten you're learning English here, and you're just communicating, conversing, and that's what I want. So thank you very much, Raphael.
thank you.
Alexander, go ahead. Your turn, please.
I'm sorry, can you remind me the question?
I don't remember the question now. So tell me, what do you feel? Do you think we should have greater wealth distribution? Do you think that the CEO shouldn't get paid more than 8 times what the lowest person in the company gets paid? Are some people just reaping the benefits and leaving the rest of us to fend for scraps?
So I think, yes, it happens in our modern world, and it happened, looking back some decades ago, maybe thousands of years ago, and I think it won't change because it's like inevitable that there is the rich and the poor. And about taxes and wealth distribution, oh my gosh, of course, taxes are considered to be the necessary thing for our modern society, but some people are trying to avoid it, and Unfortunately, here in Russia it is very common, and our government cannot follow every company, and unfortunately some companies who are not followed by the government are avoiding to pay.
Sorry, I hate cutting
All
this
right.
discussion short. I'm going to set up a class probably on Monday on the same topic, and we'll just have an entire class on this discussion because I think it's a great one. But I want to give Helm a chance. Helm, what do you think? Do you think we need a more European system where it doesn't matter if you're an industrialist or a billionaire? If you live in this country, you need transparency. You need to pay a fair share of taxes. We all are in this together.
Yes, yes, Simon. For me, the important way is the transparency. I live in Morocco, and I live in Morocco. So we have a high level of illiteracy, and corruption. We have a real problem of wealth sharing. For example, for the taxes, as an employee, we have one of the largest income tax in the world. For example, me, I pay more than 38% as a tax for my salary. And the companies do not pay their taxes. It's a real problem. How can...
I think it's a very real problem. I mean, look at a company like Apple, and I do like Apple. I buy their products, but to hear that they're paying very little tax, to me, that's unfair. And it's not just Apple. They say, hey, look, we're following the tax code. Too many companies are not giving back, and I think that's wrong. Okay, so we have a few people who just joined us. So I'm going to try to squeeze them in. So, Lynn, the question for you is, should companies get away with not paying taxes?
Sorry, can you repeat the question? I can hear it clearly.
Should companies avoid paying taxes? Should that be allowed?
Yes, I don't think companies should avoid taxes because the government gives the tax for own company, and we have to pay it. We have to pay the tax for the government for the benefits of every people, because the government use the tax to pay everything to use this to yes, I have no what to say about the tax. Yes, that all I can talk is.
Well, that's okay. It's a difficult subject.
Yes.
I'll give Heidi, I'll give you a chance to speak, but you might be the last person because like I said, I do have a private session and I need a few minutes to switch over because you get in trouble if you're late as a teacher. So here in Canada, we have high taxes. So you were saying 38%. By the time I buy something at the store, like this, for example, there's sales tax on this, and if I include all the municipal, federal, and provincial tax taken, I will have paid about 55% of my income in taxes. Okay. Now, taking that into account, I have free health care. I don't have to pay anything when I go see a doctor, and that's good. When my baby was born, he was in the hospital for a week. He had jaundice, and we had a semi-private room, or we had a private room. It was a big room. So my wife was in the hospital, he was in the hospital, that was for a week. In the United States, that would have cost us tens of thousands of dollars. We ended up paying, I think it was $30 or something ridiculous. I know that if I get canned, I get a year of payment from the government. And as long as I don't have a lot of debt, I can survive off that. There are certain programs that I appreciate that we have. Our roads, they're terrific. I can go anywhere in the world using our roads. The services available from the government are really, really good, and I appreciate that, but I see a lot of waste. I see corruption. There's a news story right now about a senator who was corrupt. And, you know, you'd think he'd come out and say, you know, I'm sorry, I did some things wrong. And he's like, no, I'm not guilty. When clearly he violated a lot of laws. So, yeah, we have problems in this country, too, and the extreme or high cost of real estate makes it very difficult for a lot of us. And then we see companies not paying taxes. So as I end, what I will say is I'm not worried. It's just a great discussion. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a class for either Monday or Tuesday. I'll do that later this morning. And we're going to have a similar discussion. And it's going to be based on
I didn't
the
have
social
any
index.
about tax.
I know, Hyde. Okay, so I'll give you've got a minute, Hyde, but I will set up a class to continue
It's
this
okay.
discussion
Goodbye.
on Monday.
Goodbye.
Okay. Bye, Hyde.
Yeah, other students have Lion share, but I didn't have any time.
Well,
Even
Hyde,
though
I've only got
I
so much
attended
time in the
this
class, Hyde.
from the first time.
Hyde, come on, let's be fair. I give everybody a fair amount of time, and I time things using my phone.
Yeah,
So, come on, let's not do that. We're talking about fairness and taxation and all this, and I divvy up my time very fairly. I count and give each person a certain amount of time. However, at a certain point, we come to the end of the class. I had 2 more students join, and one of those students didn't get a chance to speak. I'm sorry, it's just how it is. Okay? I think.
Okay. Thank
So,
you, teacher.
unfortunately, guys, I do have to get going because I've got another class I need to set up for, and I can't be late. But thank you very much, guys, for attending, and I hope you all feel that I was fair with my time distribution, even though one student wasn't happy.
Next weekend.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank
Take
you.
care.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
teacher. Bye-bye. See you again.
Bye-bye now.